and welcome to a special presentation from your boys at UA. I'm Matt Childress, and with me is my friend and rival,
Yeah,
Mr.
I
Chris
like
Smith.
it. I
How you
like
doing,
it.
man?
So I'm your Kuwabara to your Yusuke, or are we more like the Kurama to the Hiei type thing? So,
Uh,
you know,
I don't know.
because
I'll leave that. I think that maybe that's yet to be decided. I feel like the
I mean,
Yusuke
okay,
Kuwabara rivalry is more fun,
yeah, but
but
I also think the people in the comments below, let us know.
yeah,
Are
yeah,
we
you
the
tell us.
Kuwabara Yusuke, or are we the? I mean, because neither of us are really edgy, so we're not
Mm.
Hiei at all.
Yeah, we're
So
not cool
like,
enough to be EA, but
yeah, we're not cool enough, but we're also kind of, we are very, very, in my opinion, cool, nice people, so and very gentlemanly like. So we could be Kurama, easily.
and it's also probably Chris's favorite character.
It is my favorite character in the entire show.
If
Yes,
you
it is.
haven't put it
Yeah,
together yet, we are
yeah.
here to present you with the first, that's right, the first
Woo-woo!
character preview for the new Dark Tournament Yu Yu Hakusho set coming out
Oh
here in just a
yeah.
few weeks. So,
If I had a ham horn, I'd be like, brr, 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 brr. Yeah.
So thank you, UVS Games, for including us in this. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. We are very excited to talk about this new character and their support. So we're just going to dive right into it. We don't waste anyone's time. We're here for the cards.
Are
We want to
we?
see the
I
cards.
also don't think we're going to wax poetic over a lot of the cards. We're kind of just going to go in, preview, give you a couple quick hits maybe here and there. I think we're going to talk more about it in a further podcasty episode and more in depth about certain combos and stuff like that. But if you think
Yeah,
of anything while you're watching the video, please do the algorithm things. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and comment below, everybody.
that's right. So without any further ado, let's make it happen. All right. We have Mr. It's Bowie, right?
I don't know. I call him Bui.
Boy, your boy.
Wee.
It's boy.
Your boy.
It's your
He's our
boy.
boy.
He's your
He's
boy.
our boy now. He's
Um,
our. It is your boys.
yeah,
So
yeah. The boy's got the boy.
he does kind of have like the U and the UA
he
thing.
does.
Like
There could
he has
be.
like I think that's the correlation why they gave him to us. I
Yeah,
really
I
do.
think I think UVS Games. We're picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, and
Um,
we like it. We
so
like it.
he is Death, Earth, and Water, and he is a 5-hand size, 36 vitality character. All right.
That's a beefy boy.
On Team Toguro, that's right. We the bad boys.
Hmm.
And with that, he has enhance once per turn, your turn. Destroy one ready face up foundation. So that's the cost. And then build the top 2 cards of your deck face down. All right. All right. And then he has form commit. Your next attack this turn gets plus X speed and plus X damage. X equals the number of face down foundations. Your number of face down foundations, sorry.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, Chris, what's your initial take on him?
This boy is going to feel really cool on your turn, and eventually you're going to hit a critical mass of like a kabillion face downs. You're going to be like, well, I'm going to turn this guy sideways. You're
Right.
going to have to deal with this attack. So I think like fight like he kind of is a six-hander on your turns because he gets to pop one, build two. So
Right.
that's kind of cool. We always like free building characters who don't have the good symbols,
Yeah.
So like that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So, yes and no, right?
Also,
Yeah.
one
Go ahead.
before we get any further, remember we are not going to have set one cards with these guys. So no jab, no hardened chop, none of the
Manly
Kirishima
passionate.
one
Yeah.
manly passionate. So we don't get any of that stuff
Mm-hmm.
anymore. So remember that when you're thinking about this, guys at home, that we're talking
Mm-hmm.
in a non-set one format.
Right. Because once Dark Tournament drops, we're in that new format.
Yep, we're in the new
So
format.
like his ability being once per turn, your turn, and being an enhance, and having to destroy one ready face up foundation.
Yeah.
I feel like all of that goes to show that they were very cautious and intentional with this ability, right? Because this is one of
Yeah.
those abilities, like if you could destroy committeds, it's like, hey, this one resource becomes 3 resources, right?
Yeah,
Whereas in this
exactly.
situation, one
Yep.
resource becomes 2, which is still good.
Hmm.
He has to play an attack from hand to get that online as well. So like if you swapped these two and you made like, because that might be what people think at first, like, hey, why is this enhanced the one that builds and ramps out when I want to do that first, make it like a first form or
Yeah.
something, and then I want the enhanced commit to just give my attack a whole bunch of stats. So
Yeah.
he has to kind of like telegraph, and even further, you can't use his form and then build on the same attack, right? So like he has to play like 2
Yeah.
attacks to really get benefit of it, because like you can use the enhance on the first
Yeah.
one, get some foundations. Then you use his form. Then you play a second attack, and it's gigantic. At very least
Yeah.
+2/+2. So I think there's a
Hmm.
lot of cool potential here with his symbol spread.
Hmm.
I am not a five hand size kind of guy normally. Like
Neither am
that's
I,
a
which is
struggle for
kind of
me.
weird. Yeah, it's
But at
very.
the same
I struggle
time,
with it.
this kind of character who compensates for that build, like you were pointing out, I think that's the kind of five hander that I'd be willing to kind of like explore and give
Yeah.
some effort to. You know, he doesn't
Sure.
really cheat his hand size, but he kind of does. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Let's talk
mean,
about
like
yeah.
most five-handers in our game cheat their hand size, other than like Nomu. But Nomu technically gets double damage, so
Look,
he's throwing one attack and two. But he's gone after when
yeah,
this set
he is
drops.
going to be
He gone,
gone,
boys and
and
girls.
Nomu will no
Gone.
longer be 2-for-1ing himself, as like
Yeah.
say from set one. Which
Yep.
spoilers, I was right, but I was wrong, because the reality is when they don't block, you're not 2-for-1ing yourself. So,
Yep.
all right,
Yep.
let's continue forward. Let's talk about some of the attacks. Speaking of
We.
2-for-1ing ourselves, right?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
his first attack is Arena Stone Toss. Chris, you want to tell everyone what that one does?
Yeah, sure. It's a 4 difficulty 3 check plus 1 mid block. 3 mid for 5. It does have some keywords at the bottom. It's EX3, ranged and weapon. It's good to see something that gets speed. So if we hit our opponent or get momentum, it's a good way to push our attacks through. Also, this attack can really just, if you have a bunch of face downs with this form, you can just murder people at the end of a string. It is a 4 diff, so it's really
Right,
easy to play. So
right.
you just snap, commit him on a form, drop it, get like +4, +4, +4, +5, +5, dump momentum. Add any extra damage we'll see maybe in the future, but we could end up. This could actually be like our secondary kill con in a way because it does have that EX on it.
Right. Well,
What
and I
about you,
think
Matt?
like the thing that immediately glaring about this attack is that it's the most mid slow attack of all
Hmm.
time, right? Like it's 3
Yeah.
speed mid. Everyone just blocks this for free. But that
Hmm.
EX3 goes a long way for shoring up that shortcoming. I like the fact that it has weapon on it because like you have those Eraserhead 2 water weapons that like never saw a whole lot of cool stuff going on with them.
Oh
So
yeah,
you
yeah,
can
very true.
kind of integrate this in with that sort of stuff. So like I
Mm.
think I think seeing ranged and weapon as additional keywords could
Ooh, that's a
make
good
this
find.
slot into some cool deck options later
I
on.
think we found. But when you mentioned Racerhead 2, my gears turned really fast, and we also get exhausted. Sorry, I knew we weren't going to drop a lot of tidbits, but exhausted exclamation. You can
Hmm.
draw a card when your character's committed. That can help circumvent his 5 hand
The
size.
five hand size
So yeah,
problems, man.
yeah.
Absolutely. So his next attack is Aura Slam. So Aura Slam is a 5 difficulty 3 check. It's a 3 mid for 5 again. Gonna see a trend here, right?
We love our 3 mid 5s here at UA.
Right. And it's a +3 low block. Um, it is a slam and it is a throw. And I just want to pause here for a moment and say thank you for making sure that this attack had slam on it because it's not the overhead punch or
Oh
the
yeah.
throw. You know,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah. The Midoriya throw that doesn't have punch on it. Yeah,
yes,
that. Yeah.
yeah. Or well,
I,
no, the it was even like the Bakugo attack that's
oh
like the
yeah, the
left
punch
hook or
that is.
whatever. That's
Yeah,
it's got
yeah.
punch in the title. Anyway, neither here nor
Oh,
there.
so when you said slam and throw, I heard the millions of Selkie fans out of my window scream,
Right?
"Yeah!"
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Get
Yeah.
live. So it has enhance. If this attack is blocked, build the
Mm-hmm.
top card of your deck face down, committed.
Committed. Interesting.
So what's cool about this is his ability doesn't say non-throw. So like you can
Mm.
just throw, +5/+5 on this throw, and it's gonna do 10 damage. And then if they block it, hey, I'm getting another free face down. It's committed, but whatever. Like
Yeah.
I'm playing
Mhm.
the long game here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's one of those characters that he's gonna scale out throughout the game, and he's gonna reach
Mm.
to your point earlier a critical mass where he's just a
Yeah.
problem.
And he has 36 health, so like you can take some beatings.
Oh yeah.
Like I come from the school of Mountain Lady too, where we just love chucking giant numbers and taking damage back. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and I think this character really lines up to that. I'm
Who
just
needs
gonna
to
just
block? I don't block.
you
Whatever.
need yeah. You should block at least. I think he's gonna be able to block one a turn, maybe,
Yeah.
but
Probably.
I think you're gonna want to. But I don't know. Going forward in his kit, we may see he may not have to block very much.
Yeah, you
So
don't have to block too often.
nah.
Let's look at his third attack.
Do you want me to get this one?
Yeah, man, take us through his
Okay,
ultra
so
rare
we get the
attack.
ultra rare. So crisp, the air. I love it. It is called Battle Aura Release. 4 difficulty 3 check +2 mid. It's a 4 high for 4. Enhance, flip a foundation, draw a card.
Mm.
I'm already going to call it. This is going to be one of the money ultra rares in the set. It's a 4 difficulty card that draws a card. We love these in our game.
It's 4 high for
Enhance,
4 too. It's off zone. Yeah.
I mean, it's not really a 4 high for 4, Matt. Listen to this next enhance. Enhance, this attack gets plus X damage. X equals the number of face down foundations in your stage, max 4. So thank you, UVS Games, for putting a damage cap on this. So
Right.
we're basically
No
looking at a
indiscriminate here.
yeah, no indiscriminate here. So it's a 4 high for at most 8, which is insane return. Draws you a card for an insane return on a 4 diff. So really it's a 4 high for 5 just base on itself. Because obviously you're drawing a card with it.
Yeah, right.
Unless your entire
Absolutely.
staging area is face down, which is insane. But yeah.
Yeah, right.
But
Well,
and it has charge and range.
and
So
think
your
about it.
Chaco 4 players are gonna love this.
If it's already your whole stage is face down, like you were talking about, so you can't draw
Yeah.
the card. Okay,
You're probably
well,
winning
guess
anyways,
what? My
right?
character just gave this +10/+10. I guess this is a
Yeah.
14 high for 14. Oh, make that for 18. Are you?
Yeah, that's pretty sick,
Pack
right?
it up.
Yeah.
Pack it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
pack
you
it
really,
up.
like this
Yep.
one's got earth on him, so like you can still run like the seizing and other like targeted flip
Mm,
stuff. Like
mhm,
sure you're gonna
mhm.
lose apathetic, but whatever.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll
It's
take the
super
three.
crazy.
Yeah,
Super
I
good.
think this card. I'm right there with you. I think this card's gonna be one of the highly played ultra rares.
Played cards.
And
Oh yeah,
to be
definitely.
fair,
Yeah.
we've not seen anything else.
Yeah.
But I'm still
Yeah.
confident.
Yeah.
I feel confident
Yeah,
making
I
that
feel
call.
I feel very confident in making that call as well. Yeah,
I
I think the
understand
worst
good
thing
numbers when I
on
see good numbers.
like the worst thing on this card is its block modifier, and it's not
Yeah.
even that
Yeah,
bad.
which is a
You know, a
2.
plus,
I
it's a
mean,
+2 mid, and it's not terrible.
also, it has
Yeah,
charge and ranged again. So again,
it's
you know,
very relevant.
lean
Yeah,
into symbols like
for
your
you.
point. Uraraka plays this card really
Yeah,
well, like
Spike
really well.
3 wants to play this card off of a
Hmm.
couple of his symbols.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think this, well, that's like one of the generically best cards. I think we want cards like that after
Hmm.
set one rotates. That kind of like you have those generic good cards that
Right.
you can just slot into other decks, and so like flip draw cards always going to be good. You know,
Yeah. Well, like this
so
is kind of like your oh man, what was it? It's the Ida 1 attack that was the kick. That's a 4 mid 4 that draws a
oh yeah,
card.
reciprocal extend. Yeah,
Super extend,
yep,
extend, yeah. So
yep.
this is kind
Hmm.
of a spiritual
Yeah,
boosted version of
successor,
that. Yeah, like
boosted vision.
it
Yeah,
adds damage to
yeah.
itself instead of your next one, and but it
Hmm.
flips to draw. Like it's a very similar card, and
I
that
mean,
card
it's
was
a
very
7
good.
high. It's a 7 high for 8 and no Chaco 4. So
Yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's gonna see some play.
yeah, it's gonna
Um,
see some play.
his last attack is devastating swing, and
You
it's a
mean he doesn't have a full kit of attacks, Matt? He actually has foundations. Gasp.
yeah, just one or two. He
Okay.
just turns them all in. You know, destroys them, turns them
Turns
into
them
other
on
stuff.
foundations, anyways. Yeah.
See, it's a 5 difficulty 3 check, 3 mid for 7. So again, super blockable, very mid.
Yeah.
Plus
Very
two,
mid.
plus
Yeah.
2 high block. Powerful 3 and weapon. This attack will end games just off the
Hmm.
damage alone. But that's got to make it connect. And it says enhance. If you have more face down foundations than your rival, this attack gains stun 2. So
Pretty sure we're gonna do that
we're
pretty
probably
easily,
gonna
right?
get there because you know you can do
Yeah.
cool plays. Like again, maybe you have like a face up that has a commit ability, right? And then you're
Mm.
gonna pop that for your character to then get 2 face downs that are ready, and then your rival just maybe hasn't done stuff yet. Even
Oh,
for
remember, you have to pop a ready face
yeah,
up
yeah. Oh,
foundation,
that's
not
right.
a
You do have to pop ready. Dang man,
so it has to
I'm
be
living
ready.
the dream in my
Or
head.
maybe
And it's just not
maybe
there.
like a spammable, like we lose a health for a damage
Sure,
or a
sure.
speed or something random like that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
something that we can just use.
Yeah.
Maybe further to your point, like this attack in either of the Bebop characters, I mean, they're gonna get face downs aggressively quick.
A Toga 3 says this is a 6 mid for 9.
Hmm. She sure
That's
does.
pretty. Yeah.
She sure does.
6 mid for 9. Granted, it's a 6 mid, but it's still for 9 damage. You could
6 mid for
catch.
9 with stun 2.
Yeah.
Catch.
Yeah. It's
You want to
pretty
block
good.
that? I
Yeah.
don't want to block that.
Yeah. I don't want to block that either.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think again, there's some cool stuff that's gonna be happening here. Also, I think that one will
Hmm.
probably look really sweet as an XR because
Oh
like,
yeah.
right now we're just getting like the hand drawing out the X, but like if you can
Hmm.
see like the rest of the grip there, I feel like that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah. I think it'd be pretty sick.
Keep your eyes
Yep.
on that one. So we got his first foundation if you want to take us through that, and that's Battle
Yeah.
Aura.
Yeah, Battle Ore is cool because it's kind of because with set one leaving, we're missing a lot of tenacious abilities at like for stun hate or
Hmm.
stun or like committal hate. So it can't be fixed for one thing, or whatever. So it's kind of we're getting replacements. So it's a Battle Ore is a one difficulty 5 check +3 mid. It's a poopy block, but whatever. Its
Yeah.
ability sick. Response tenacious flip. After this card is committed due to your rival's effect, this attack gets -2 damage. Only time that ability is ever bad is if you're playing against Bakugo 4. So and Matt knows all about that.
If you're playing
So
against
it's
Matt, is what he's saying. That
yeah,
ability is
yeah,
not going to be
it's
so
just
great,
that.
but
It's not going to be so great, but otherwise it's going to be great.
money. It's
So
going to
yeah,
be money outside.
I
Exactly.
like it that it's not on a like because we've had these cards in our hands for like a little while. So I got to chat with my buddy Church, and I was like, hey man, I appreciate you not putting stuff like this on zero diffs. So you're making ones relevant again. We appreciate you.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I like it. It's snap. It's a lot of the times when you get stunned out, you can't block. So this gives you an option to be like, well, I'm going to take a little less damage because I can't block it.
Well, and I think the thing worth pointing out here is, in particular, about the DR, about the damage reduction,
Mm. Hmm.
is it doesn't say minimum one. So like,
Yeah,
if
baby.
you can make your rival have awkward sequencing in their enhanced step to play
Hmm.
around this card if they want to use their stun,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Not super awkward. Like they probably just still lead with stun. They're like, whatever, dude, you didn't already reduce it. But like, let's say you have some sort of floating damage reduction. It comes in, and like
Mm-hmm.
you could run the Kirishima 3 action or whatever, and like maybe you block it. Doesn't that one do
Oh,
floating reduction?
yeah.
Or
It's a
maybe not.
-4. No, it's on the
It's on
attack you
block.
block. It's
Okay.
minus
Well,
four. Yeah.
still, I was just trying to think of things like anything that's floating. If it comes in and it's reduced,
Yeah.
then maybe they don't want to stun
Mhm.
initially, and you get to use some other stuff. Like I don't know. There's
I
there's
mean,
there's going to be some cool interactions, I'm sure,
there's
with this
a
card.
there's a weird subset of players who never push the stun button when you
Hmm.
have stun hate out. They just
Right.
don't. I'm in the school of just get it out of the way as soon as possible because later in the game it's going to matter more. So it's
Sure.
just like, yeah.
Well, stun
So
is most impactful early, right? Like
yeah.
the later the game
Yep.
goes, when they have their 10 foundations or
Mhm.
more, sometimes it becomes less impactful. It's still very good. And
Yeah.
what I like also about this, and just want to point this out before we go to the next one, is that it's flip. It's a flip. So like on your turn, you're attacking into me. I'm like flip. Hopefully stay alive. Maybe that 2 damage ends up being my health at the end of the turn. I
Yep.
have 2, and then
Mhm.
oh yeah, by the way,
Backswing. Yeah.
I now have even more face downs because I got them on your turn aggressively, and
Yep.
now I'm just going to nuke you
Yep.
from orbit with my character ability doing that 14 high for 14.
Yeah.
So
Heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
like
That
I
sounds
think that's cool.
gravy.
So
Yeah, it's very cool.
let's see.
Next card.
Next foundation is beneath the armor. So we're taking the armor off. We're getting real, guys.
Yeah, we're getting real.
It's
We're actually dropping the training weights. We're doing the
that's
Piccolo
right.
Goku thing. We're
That's right.
just dumping all the
We got
weights.
the red energy blood
Yep.
mark. I don't know. It's been a minute. I don't remember if he gets headbutted right there, if he's just about to
I don't
go
remember
Cyclops
either.
on
Yeah.
him. But either
Yeah, I don't
way,
remember either. It's been a bit.
it's a 2 difficulty 5 check with a +3 low block. It says enhance once per turn. Flip 1 foundation. This attack gets +2 or -2 damage. More damage reduction, guys. You're going to see that as kind of a theme, a sub theme for this character, is that he doesn't care about blocking as much as just reducing the damage your
Yep.
rival can do to him in a turn and using that fat booty of 36 health to stay alive.
I mean,
And yeah.
like just to hop in, like the heroic endurance or whatever it is from Endeavor's 3 kit, where you remove it to get the additional -2. You could just flip it with this card to save that face down for your next turn, so you can nuke them from orbit even more, or whatever.
Yeah.
So instead of losing a foundation, you just flip it.
And this is kind of like we were just pointing out a minute ago with the other foundation, like it flipped on stun. This just lets you
Mm-hmm.
choose and target anyone. Like you can flip your committed one. It does not specify
Yep.
ready. It's like
Yep.
maybe you've used one already defensively to reduce some damage and stay alive. And then you're like, you know what? I'm going to flip that now for -2 more. Or
Mm-hmm.
maybe you're like, hey, I didn't quite math right. Oh, I need a little bit more damage for lethal. Flip it. Okay, cool.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like I think this card is probably not a snap 4x by any means, but I think it's
Yeah.
really fine in the common slot. Even further, this will be really good in sealed, like in any sort of draft environment.
Oh yeah.
Like
Definitely.
just +2 or -2 on a flip once per turn. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
get like 3 of these in play and negate an attack.
Yeah, we like that. We
Yeah,
like
for
that.
sure. Foundation number 3, Chris.
Sweet. Okay, so I'm gonna preface this by saying this has one of my favorite statics ever because I loved this static in the old in Universus old times where there was
Pre-MHA
a part
times.
pre-MHA times. I don't know how to actually word that right for all of
Yeah.
our new fans, but
Yeah.
whatever. It's called Enormous Axe because we like things big.
The biggest of axes.
It's the biggest of
He's
axes.
about to
It is.
axe you to leave.
It is a 3 difficulty 5 check plus 1 mid block. Not a bad block on
No,
this, which is kind
pretty,
of
pretty
cool.
good.
Static. After this foundation is destroyed, build the top card of your deck face down. So, unfortunately, we don't get to do that. We have to come. It has to be ready to do Buoy's enhance, which is kind of whatever. But it also says enhance commit. This attack gets plus X damage. X equals the number of face down foundations in your stage. Max of 4. Thank you for the max. And it also has the weapon keyword for you aficionados at home. So, it's kind of like there was an older card called Glacial Assault had the same thing. You got to blow it up because its character actually blew up stuff. So we have to find ways to destroy this. So we have to find a way to destroy this somehow, other than if it's committed and we can destroy it. That's the best way to use it. So I think using it for Buoy's enhance is kind of not using all your resources properly. But
I feel like you probably don't want to do that anyway, because like you combine this enhance with his character form, and you're like, okay, let's add. I mean, at that point you'd be at 9 face downs, right? So plus 9 plus 9, then plus 4 more damage, plus 9 plus 13. Okay.
Sure.
On his ultra rare, another 4 damage, plus 9
just
plus
commit
17.
This. You can commit this for 4 damage, flip it with the other one for plus 2, so you're getting plus 6, plus the 14, plus the 10 and 10 or whatever, So we're at astronomical numbers here.
He's gonna he is one of those characters like if he catches you sleeping and finds that window, he can just do half of your life pretty effortlessly. Which is a neat place for it to land. Last but not least, actually probably my favorite foundation that he has. So I'm gonna take you through Weapon Clash. So Weapon Clash is a 2 difficulty, 5 control, and it's got a plus 3 high block on it. It says enhance, destroy 1 face down foundation as a cost. This attack gets minus 2 damage, minimum 1. Enhance flip, build the top card of your deck face down committed. So, we were just talking about, trying to have ways to destroy foundations and all. Granted, we can't destroy that one while it's face up. It has to be face down. But this card is great because I love foundations that have or abilities that just say enhance destroy a foundation, because those allow you to stay out of deadlock and you can play the game longer, and it's that next level of being able to manage your board, right? But this one gives minus 2 damage basically for free. Like you're going to destroy your face down committed foundation that you've already used twice because you used it for its original ability, then you flipped it to do something else, and then you're going to destroy it. Like it's just so efficient. In particular, the thing I'm most excited about to do with this card is windmill slam this card directly into Fae off of water and just laugh at my rival because my character says I get to flip 1 to give minus 2, and this says I get to destroy that one I just flipped for another minus 2.
Yeah, minus 2. So their attacks are at base minimum 1, which is really cool.
Right. Like
very cool.
Yeah, if your attack doesn't do printed 6 or more, you're swinging into me for 1, and all I did is I spent 1 foundation.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's crazy.
That is going to be a thing. Again, don't know what the rest of the set holds. Can't accurately predict the meta, but that interaction alone is going to be impactful, and it's going to be really cool. So I'm excited for that.
Very true.
What do you think about Weapon Clash? It's a rare, by the way. It's a rare.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Ooh, interesting. It doesn't have weapon on it. That's one thing I'm kind of bothered about. Yeah. Missed opportunity. Should have put weapon and slam on it. Which,
I guess since
I don't know why you
had it on there, maybe they can't do that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean,
foundations.
I don't know. I'm excited for. I don't know. I think out of seeing our characters kit in a whole, in the whole vein, damage reduction, or DR for short, is going to make a giant comeback because we didn't have a whole lot of it in MHA. Like we had resistance, we had harden, we had a couple other cards spliced out, but we didn't have an entire kit outside. Like Bakugo's is weird because it's not really damage reduction. It's a weird thing to give him damage pump because they base it off of base.
As damage reduction.
It is masked as damage reduction, but that's crazy. I would windmill slam off of death irritated into this guy's deck because it's -1 damage and then you flip it for another -2. Is it worth it? don't know. Maybe we need the more spam. Maybe
Needs
we
to be a
do
fury
need.
attack in that situation.
Oh, does it
Yeah,
really?
so
Oh, that's
your fury
poopy
attack
then.
is plus
Okay.
2 speed,
Oh,
-1 damage.
okay. I take cut that out, edit that out in
Edit that
post.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I will do that for sure.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy. I
No
appreciate you. Make me
problem.
look good. No, I think it's a fine card. I agree with you. Like when you have these face down committed cards that you have no use for, this gives them a use. Like even if it's not dropping it to minimum 1, like being able to just go, well, I'm gonna put it to 3 from a 5. I'm taking 2, or or put it to like 7 to 5. I'm taking 3 instead of 4. Like that 1 health could matter
Oh
in the
yeah.
long run.
Oh yeah. I mean, like you're gonna look at -2 and you're like, that's not that much. Look at how much damage we're
Yeah.
adding to stuff. You're not wrong, and it may
Yeah.
be that the meta just ends up being things are getting pumped up 10 plus damage, so -2 is a drop in the bucket, and DR doesn't make this big comeback. But having multiple instances of reusable -2 or any amount of more than
Yeah.
one should
Yeah.
be relevant in enough situations that it's worth using.
Yeah.
And again, this is going to be post set 1, so it's going to be real interesting to see. I am super hyped to see how these cards for this character shake out, both in the draft environment and like the Wish tournament stuff coming up and all, when you're kind of first to get to see them on display, and also of course in the larger meta once everyone gets their hands on these cards as well. So yeah, any closing thoughts on our buoy before we call
I
it?
think he's cool. I think he's like one of the first 5 hand size characters in a while that I actually want to. Granted, he's ours. I'm
Sure.
biased, so I will give him a go. I actually think he's going to be a really good draft monster,
Hmm.
um, just because of he gets to build for free,
Yep.
which means you don't have to play as many cards on turn 1 if you don't need to. If you can't, like if you draw like a couple foundations and 3 attacks, you're fine actually, right? Because you're
Right.
really building 3 on your first one, and then that stat pump cannot be ignored in the later game, because that's a lot of the times in draft games go long because you don't like unless like you totally blow your opponent out by drawing a billion attacks every turn.
Hmm.
Like he gives you that inevitability of like, well, I'm gonna turn my character sideways. I'm gonna give my next attack +10/+10.
Yeah.
Can you block
Yeah,
it?
you tell them to figure it out,
Yeah,
like
you figure it out,
um,
man.
and
So
I agree. I think this guy will definitely be a character to keep your eyes on when you're dealing with that limited, like just within the set environment, because really that top enhance too, man. Like being able to
yeah,
artificially get foundations that then you're able to use to help you close out the game or use for
yeah,
other stuff like we were pointing out in his kit. Like it looks like it's all going to play very well together. So
yeah.
yeah, guys. You may want to end up selecting this as your character for when you go to play in your Dark Tournament release.
I just don't know how he's gonna shake out in the standard
Sure.
portion. It's just because I do set 1's leaving, so it's like wide.
Yeah.
You can't.
Well, we have no clue what the rest of the set
Yeah,
of Dark
yeah,
Tournament is, so like
yeah,
it's
exactly.
impossible to predict at this point.
Yeah.
But odds are six MHA characters are still going to be good because those guys are all
hmm
pretty good. So
Yep.
um,
And so I think this is just gonna follow suit because our character's pretty dang good. So
yeah, and yeah. So guys, like Chris said, let us know your thoughts on Bowie in the comments down
hmm
below. Determine which rivalry we are between the members of
we
Team
yeah.
Urameshi, and yeah, and look forward to seeing more Team Tagoro characters and the rest of the set in the other content creators previews. If you haven't yet, please make sure to check out our channel. It's Universus Academy over at YouTube. Like and subscribe and do all those algorithm things and help us out.
Yep.
So thank you again,
You can
UVS Games.
You can follow me on Twitch at Brody1. I do a bunch of different things with the game, play games, make decks, do all that fun stuff. Probably talk more about our character in depth, maybe play some games against Matt. We don't know what's going to happen, what the future holds. But look forward to seeing more content creators and more previews. So thank you, UVS Games, for including us. Finger guns.
See you guys. Take care.
Bye, everybody.